Hey, Shalom. This is Brother Yuan with GMS South Carolina. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. All right. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, man, we're going to talk about how the Lord did not cast away his people, because that's what they teach in Christianity and in the world. That now everybody's an Israelite, that the book pertains to everybody, the promises pertain to everybody. And, if you've been learning, that's not true, that's false. And the scriptures don't say that. So we're going to go through that. And we're also going to touch briefly on the fact that we're not hamites. And you know what? I'll just get on it right now. Let's go to Exodus 11:7 really quick. Pull up the screen for you guys here. Let's go to Exodus 11. Shalom to everybody coming in on the comment board. All right. It reads, Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord all caps being Yahweh, doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Now, these people have the same complexion, but they're not the same lineage of people. Just like when you go, son, hey, go get that book. You see that book? Go get the book on top for me. Daddy needs it. All right.
little one?
The big one. The one that says tell him, you know. Yeah. When you go read the Bible dictionary, okay, and you look up ham, it'll even tell you, yep, that one. Thank you. Thank you very much. You go back. Okay. All right. Let me go get it. And most of you guys, you know this definition anyway already. But doesn't hurt to read it again. Ham. Hmm? Ham. All right. So definition for it is right here. And if you haven't got one of these, haven't got the chance to get one of these, man, it's a good study tool. All right. So when you read the definition for ham in the Bible Compact Dictionary, it says this. All right. Ham. All right. The youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. And we know that the flood was something that actually happened. All the different nations and nationalities, you go back in their documents, of history, they all have a recollection of what happened during that time of the flood. You go look at the earth, in certain parts of the earth, you can see that there was an abrupt flooding that happened. So this is something that can be proven time and time again. All right. So the Bible, isn't some fairy tale book of things that are just, oh, that's far fetched. No, these things can be proven. All right. Probably born 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor, and here's the kicker, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Okay? So not us. He was the forefather of these dark races, but not us. The water brother, for sharing the stream, man. All right. All right. So he was a progenitor of the dark races, but not us. So we're not Hamites, man. And a lot of Jake, because that's what's told to you in history. All right. When you're brought up in Esau's food system, that's where your history starts. Slavery. Oh, you guys are African. You're brought from Africa, which, again, that's a tool to keep you in the dark, and that's something that this devil wants our people to be in, a mindset they want them to be in, because the lie that they fabricated go along. But we're not African, and you even have jakes that'll go as far as to dedicate themselves to this Africanism, and they go get the kufi, and they go get the Egyptian tattoos, and everybody got the Ankh tatted on their chest. And they don't know that they come from the most regal people that there ever was. So we try to tell our people, hey, man, you're not African. You're a part of the regal house of Israel, man. You're the Lord's chosen people, the sole people that the Lord is dealing with. And the scriptures say that. You go to Amos 3:2, it says that. But again, this devil has tricked and bamboozled everybody into thinking that this book is for everybody. People that look at the Bible like, oh, I don't believe in that book, man. A white man wrote that book. Or I don't necessarily believe it. No, what you don't believe in is Christianity. Because when we were brought over here and our language was beat out of us, when we were brought over here and they were telling us to slaves obey your masters, they got a couple precepts and they were holding that book, but they didn't go into the prophecy and the details of the book and the history of who it was talking to, who it was written to. So it's not the Bible that people don't believe in, it's Christianity. But they don't get that because, they never picked it up for themselves, nor did the Lord open their eyes to see and their ears to hear. You know what I mean? Because you could put it like this, and this is why I say prophecy is king. Prophecy is chief. It separates us from all this other BS, because you can't deny that, the transatlantic slave trade happened. You also can't deny that it's written and prophesied to happen in the scriptures far before it happened. There's certain things that are very detailed that were prophesied to happen to us specifically that happened and that was already written in the scriptures. So you can't deny that it happened. You also can't deny that it was prophesied to happen. So now you have prophecy in the Bible that it begins to prove itself that it's real. Because nobody can deny that slavery happened. But you'll have Jakes that will go as far as to try to deny that. All right? The nations are confederate against us, man. And the brother put the precept up. It's Psalms 83:4. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." And they tried, and if the Lord's hand wasn't in this thing of ours, they would have succeeded. All right. All right, and that's actually the Kazak put it up, but we're actually going to go to Romans 11:1. So I'm just going to pull it up here on the blue letter, because the Lord didn't cast away His people. All right. We already touched on the fact that we're not hamites. We're not. And just to say one more thing, Moses. If people know the story of Moses, Moses was adopted by Pharaoh in his house. He passed as Pharaoh's grandson. We know the ancient Egyptians were very dark people. So if Moses, from the tribe of Levi, right, passed as Pharaoh's grandson, we know that the Israelites had to be what color as well? They had to be dark people. That's common sense, but let's continue on. Romans 11:1. I say then, hath God cast away His people? Right? God forbid. But in the world, they'll tell you, oh no, He's not dealing with them exclusively anymore. He's dealing with everybody. False. That's not what the scriptures say. See, Christianity says one thing, but the word says another. You see what I'm saying? Let's read this again. Romans 11:1. I say then, hath God cast away His people? And who are His people? Well, let's see. Let's go to I'm gonna get Amos 3:2 because I mentioned it earlier. Who are the Lord's people? Let's find out. Amos 3, and we'll just start at 1 here at the top. It says, "Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying," the Lord wasn't dealing with everybody in Exodus, right? When He delivered the children of Israel from the Egyptians, He destroyed the Egyptians. Was He loving everybody then? No. Verse 2, you only, we already know according to verse 1 who He's talking to. The whole family which He brought up from the land of Egypt, the Israelites. Verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore will I punish you for all your iniquities. So we're catching hell from our Father because for our disobedience. You understand? He's concerned with us. You take your kid to the park and he start acting up. You don't start whooping other people's kids. You whoop your kid. When he's being out of order. You see? So we're getting a whooping from our Father. Romans 11:1 again from the top. I say then, have God cast away His people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed, and the seed is what matters. That's how you determine lineage, according to the Lord. In the world, you're half of what your mother is, you're half of what your father is. Now, you take on features in the physical sense from both parents, but spiritually, who your line goes back to is always your father. Numbers 1:18. You understand? That's why it was so important in ancient times for kings to have a male heir to pass down the line. Also, that's how, you come back. You are your forefathers. All right? Of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin, which Benjamin would be the so-called, West Indians today, Jamaicans, Romans 11:2, God have not cast away His people, which He foreknew. All right, so that's plain. That's spot on. All right, now I want to go to John, the 7th chapter, to bring out, this something that goes over the world's head, because they don't understand that we were scattered into every nation under heaven. And when the prophets were going to speak, going to these other nations and speaking to people, unto the Gentiles, were they actually speaking to people that were not of that seed line, were not of our seed line? Were they doing that? No. John 7:35, it reads, it's speaking to Yahushua. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will He go that we shall not find Him? Will He go unto the dispersed diaspora? Because we know much of our people were scattered into these different nations that we went into captivity in. So they were living amongst these other people, practicing their customs, keeping their ways, much like you at one point were keeping the ways of America, thought like an American. You were being a Gentile. You were in a Gentile state of mind. Okay? You look up that word Hellenist or Hellenistus, it means Greek speaking Jew. And back then you had a lot of Israelites living in Greece, keeping their customs, Greek speaking Jews. So they had to go into these nations and bring out the word and say, hey, call them back to their heritage. Hey, this is who you truly are. This is how you're supposed to conduct yourself. Yeah, you may have got detached from knowing it, but this is the way. Walk ye in it. All right? John 7:35 again. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go into the dispersed, scattered, among the Gentiles, among the other nations, and teach the Gentiles? They got to teach the Gentiles because you got Israelites among them. And the word's going to do the pulling. All right? Let's see what you guys got on the comment board, and I'll continue on. Yep, this is brother put it up. Romans 9:3. All right. For I could wish that myself were accursed from the Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen. If you're from the country, you know what kin, man. They say, oh, it's my kin. All right. According to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God. So the only people that can really bring out this word in fullness and its understanding. Now you may have Edomites that touch on things that might shed a little bit of truth, but they never have it in full. The only people that are going to have this understanding in full are the people of that seed line. All right, and who is concerning the flesh, the Mashiach came, who is over all, God bless forever. You can open it. Yeah. All right. Now let's go to you know, the Lord's only sent. Let me go get it really quick. The Lord sent to the lost. Only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. And at this point, all of us were lost. Get it? All of us were lost. All of us, you know, we're just coming back into the understanding of who we are. And that's also biblical prophecy. I mentioned it earlier, that how prophecy allows the Bible to prove itself. So whether somebody believes or not, they can't deny that these things, the prophecies in the Bible, have taken place. They can't deny that what was prophesied to happen to these people is happening to us. That can't be denied. So then you have to say, okay, is it coincidence that this book over and over and over again is giving detailed circumstances of what's happening to the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American? Is it coincidence? If you have half a brain, man, you will reconsider. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why does this keep being mentioned? Why do they keep saying it? Is it something else? Christianity is making it out to be something else? No, it is what it say it is, man. He's sent to a specific lineage, line of people. Jerusalem and Israel is always a people before it is a place. All right? So, you know, now that you're learning these things and we know who we are, we know that your ticket to salvation from the destruction that is also prophesied of this kingdom specifically is to pursue him in your doings, man. So the knowledge right now is being increased. And it was also, and going back, touching on it, the prophecy that we will be stripped of our heritage. Let's go to Jeremiah 17:4. And then we'll go to Daniel, the 12th chapter, to show you that in the end days, that the knowledge will be increased, alluding to the fact that we will once again come back to the understanding of who we were. You know, this is the first captivity, you know, that we didn't know we're Israelites, and now we're coming back to that knowledge, okay, which alludes to the fact of what time that we're in. The prophecies can't be ignored. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage. Talking to Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, when he was regenerated, reincarnated, came back upon earth, the Lord said what would be happening to Jeremiah? That he would discontinue from his heritage. He would know that he was Israelite. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. And we're serving our enemies to the gristle, to the bone, man, in this land, even to this day. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Now we'll go to Daniel 12. And that'll pretty much be it. It just was a quick lesson, man. I just wanted to, I heard a conversation earlier today, and I couldn't. I'm around worldly people, so I couldn't, just briefly say this because it wouldn't have been wise. But I got it out here for the people that needed to hear it. Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, meaning the Bible, the understanding of it, even to the time of the end. So the understanding of the scriptures will be sealed to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then you jump down to verse 8. And I heard this, Daniel, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? Always inquiring of the end, a prudent man. And that's what, when you come into this truth, you begin to inquire of the things to come. You begin to inquire when the Lord is again going to restore the kingdom of heaven unto Israel. Verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. So the understanding isn't sealed anymore, which means what? That we're in the time of the end, because we're coming back into the knowledge of who we are and how to walk. All right. So the water, man, for all you guys coming up and listening, this is a short lesson. I could make it longer, but the point is made. I try to, as much as I can, to make my point in a few words. So with that being said, I'm going to give all praises once again to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. I'm going to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom. First and foremost, all praise to Yahweh Yahushua.
O children of Israel, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.